Hello everyone, my name is Candy Ko. I'm going to show you my e-portfolio for the course called Spoken Language. Let me briefly introduce the agenda for this e-portfolio first. To commence, my learning plan will be introduced. Second, choices of activities and strategies will be shared with you. After each category of activity chosen, a reflection will be discussed in the area of its effectiveness and future goals. Let's get started with my learning plan. Although the text, which is stated on the student course bag, could not tell which learning style is suitable for my learning, knowing myself well, I can tell I'm a partly visual and kinetic learner. So I will try something I could learn by myself visually, kinetically, which could be more efficiently to my self-learning. My learning plan is with 3 objectives. First, learning some daily life vocabulary. Second, improving my listening skills for the catching R sound from the English songs. Third, improving my speaking skills for intonation, sentence stress, and pause. Now, let's get a general picture of what I did for the objective 1, which is learning daily life vocabulary. I attended PLA's 2 workshops, which one of them was conducted by B. The name of the workshop were called Communicative Games and Current Affairs respectively. Referring to the first activity, the communicative games, the strategy was that I participated in actively by trying hard to ask the questions so as to guess the right position of the item I want with my partner and jotting down notes. For the current affairs session, the strategy was I participated through pointing out a piece of news and discussed it and learning some vocabulary from the selected piece of news. It is reflected. The communicative game was really helpful for me to learn some daily used vocabulary, which means it is fulfilled with my objective 1, learning some daily vocabulary. So it was totally effective in terms of the activity I chosen and what I targeted to learn. So both the strategy and material chosen were effective. And both activity chosen and the outcome were beneficial to me to learn new daily vocabulary. The word I learned, like yarn, Y-A-R-N, is the material used to snitch at that time. In the future, I will participate to this kind of interactively communicative games or pay attention to words when walking on the streets so as to learn daily vocabulary, as I'm a partially visual and kinetic learner. However, for the current affair activity was not effective in terms of activity itself, for there was not much opportunity for me to talk and practice what I had learned. In the future, I will try another one where I can find opportunity to practice what I have learned or talk more. Let's move on to my second objective, which is to do with my listening skills for catching the R sound. I chose slow songs from Taylor Swift and Colbie Caillat, and the songs' names were Tears on My Guitar and Bubbly respectively. The strategy I did with 2 songs was similarly firstly listen to the song once without lyrics, then jotting down lyrics, especially the R sound, twice with the second step. Last step was checking the words I jotting down with lyrics. That kind of activity was reflected quite effective to detect my weakness in noticing the R sound, so the material used were effective. It was also reflected that the strategy I used was quite effective, as it suits with my learning style, which is partially visually, kinetically learned. In the future, I will listen to more English songs and pay attention to the R sounds as well as the beginning word of every line of the lyrics. Now, here comes to my third type of activity, which is related to my third objective. improving my speaking skills for intonation, sentence stress, and pause. The activity chosen was learning from the BBC.com. The strategy was firstly listen to the news by looking at the words provided, then jotted down the place where intonation, pause, and stress with different marking keys. Third, followed to the news reading. That was read aloud. By repeating the news reading, I record the best one as evidence. It was reflected that this kind of activity is totally effective for my learning and matched with my objectives, so both strategy and materials chosen were effective. As I am majoring in the broadcast journalism, reading news is critically essential. So this kind of reading English news activity helped me in improving my speaking skills for intonation, sentence stress, and pause, and as well as knowing the technique of reading English news. So in the future, I would rather take this activity at my leisure time. Overall, the independent learning helps me in detecting my weakness and finding the most suitable method to learn English. Learning takes time, so I will learn more independently in the future. That's all for my e-portfolio. Thank you very much for your kind attention.